Happy Wednesday, everybody. How you doing, Kerry Pope? And so I'm coming on because I have something very, very important to share with you. And I'm seeing, if you looked at the title, it said Relationship 101, Know Your Role. We're getting ready to launch, Rebecca and I, a new course titled Make It Last Forever. And it's dealing with relationships. It's a premarital / relationship course. And the reason why this is coming forth, I've been in the ministry now 39 years, having performed several ceremonies in marriage. Hey, Monique, one of the things that I do before I marry any couple is premarital counseling. I don't believe that a person should walk down the aisle without having it first. Hey, Loretta. And so I want to talk about knowing your role. Make it a little raw, but this is some of the stuff that you can expect in the, Make It Last Forever course. Now, if you want to take that course, you may be single, you may be in a relationship already, you may already be married and need to get some freshening up in your relationship. Take this course. It's going to be very, very good. And so this video and other videos will be a prelude to the actual course itself, because one of the problems that I have had to help people through with my counseling in therapy sessions is not knowing your role. All right, getting the roles mixed up or not operating within your role. And I know that this video is going to probably rub some people the wrong way, but that's my job. Because what I would rather do is rub your feathers the wrong way now than you to be sitting across to me because you're saying, you know, I wish I had known this before I said I do. All right. So some of you are married. Some of you want to be married. Get this course. It's coming up in right after Labor Day. We're going to start this course. So you got a whole month and a few weeks to get in there. All right. So know your role. In the beginning, we know that God created man. He created woman. He took woman from the man's rib and called him man, called him woman. And so we know the hierarchy that God established: God, man, and then the wife. Hey, son, how you doing? And the man was called to lead his house. He was called to be the leader. It wasn't based on his money. It wasn't based upon his male organ. It was based upon him being the man. Now, as much as you ladies may want to argue with that and say that's dated, that's how God created it. Take it up with God. But then we saw how throughout time, man led his home. If he was a godly man, he prayed in his home, he led his home. And then we get around the 60s, 70s, we started getting the women's lib. And women wanted to have their right. They wanted to be treated equally. They want equal pay. So the women started coming forth. One of the greatest things that ever happened, but also one of the greatest things to throw a monkey wrench in the roles. What do you mean by that? Well, then we know that women start going to factories and working and sewing. World War II, we saw the factories. Then we start seeing the women libs come around the 60s and 70s. And then we started seeing some problems in the black home. And I can speak for the white homes or any other homes, but the black homes, where we started seeing a lot of men going to jail, incarcerated. We started seeing the father who was a rolling stone having children everywhere. And so the roles started shifting. Fast forward, the industrialization, working in factories. Factories start closing. We start getting into the new era of technology. Women learn technology. Women learn in these new areas. And all of a sudden, we see the roles switch. Factories close. Women becoming CEOs. Women becoming the leaders. Women becoming more economically, financially stable than the man. Man starts losing his job. He's not going into that new field. But something happened. What happened was the roles switched, and now the man is the submissive one and the woman is the head. And we wonder why the house is jacked up. We wonder why things are out of order. Now, I want to talk to all you boss chicks. I want to talk to all you that think that you are wear the pants in your house. Ladies, that is not your role. Your role is not to be over your husband. Your husband is your head. He's your man. If you're going to get married, understand this concept. All right. It's not about who has the most money. That doesn't determine the head. It doesn't determine who's better at something. Now, when I say know your roles, knowing your role and knowing what you do better than the other person is two different things. When you know your role as a man, you will do what you have to do to make sure your house has what it needs to have. Okay? You will do what you need to do to make sure your house has what it needs to have. As the man of your house, you're going to get out and do the things that need to be done, not your wife. You're going to make sure that the car is clean, the gas is in the car, that the cars are serviced, make sure the house is right. When something tears up, if somebody's outside at the door, you go see who's at the house, not seeing your wife. Come on, sir. Women, the reason why women are not respecting the men is because the men are not being men. You've lost your role. Maybe you didn't have a role model. My role model is my dad, who taught me how to be a man. Work hard, great work ethics, how to treat a lady, talk to her as a woman, not talk to her as somebody, as something less than a person. You can't, it's knowing your role is about knowing who you are and standing in who you are. Ladies, you were never meant to carry the load of a man, ever. And when you're trying to be the man in your home, you're going to fail. Well, I need him to step up. Well, he'll step up if you get out the way. In other words, before you say I do, make sure he is a man. Make sure he is a man before you say I do. Just because he can lay down in the bed doesn't make him a man. It just makes him a good sex partner. Because he has a lot of money doesn't make him a man. He may be out here doing something illegal. What makes him a man is how does he govern his household? How does he govern his business? Does he carry himself as someone that you can trust to lead you? Whatever happened to submissiveness, which means I submit to your will and I submit to your leadership and you're going to lead and guide us. Relationship one-on-one is about knowing your role. You should not want to marry a man where you got to be the head. You shouldn't. And you got to know, ladies, and nothing wrong with being a CEO, nothing wrong with having a great paying job. But remember something, your job ends at 5 o'clock. It doesn't come home and now your husband becomes one of your employees. Somebody don't want to talk to me today. See, that's what the problem is. You got to take that hat off and leave it at work. You don't bring work home and then govern your home like you govern your job. You're not CEO at home. You're a wife. And he is to be the CEO of his home, the head. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Some of you may not like to hear this, but if you want to have something successful, if you want to make it last forever, you got to know your role. All right? You got to know your role. You don't want to be married to somebody that you got to go out to Walmart at 11 o'clock at night because he won't go out and get you something. Right? He won't go out here and do what he needs to do as a man. He wants you to go out and do it. I remember, and I won't call the person's name, they were going out to get groceries at 11 o'clock at night while the husband stayed at home. And I'm like, don't you ever do that again. Get his sorry tail up and make him go. I wish Rebecca Lynn Pope would try to get in the car and go to the grocery store at 11 o'clock at night. That ain't happening. Because a real man would tell his wife, baby, you stay here. What do you need? I'll get it. Because he's not going to send his wife out there while he's sitting home watching Netflix and chill. The church don't want to say amen. This is what you got to understand with roles with the relationships one-on-one, knowing your role. You got to know what it means to be a man and what it means to be a woman. And don't get the roles mixed up. Men, don't be afraid to. My mother told me something, ladies, and y'all tell me if this is true, because she told it to me. She said, but every real woman wants the man to tell her what to do. To tell her, in other words, don't have a backbone and put her in a place, because that's a turn on. That is something that a woman wants and needs. Not for you to be sitting here, henpecked, scared to say something because you're afraid she's going to turn off the power. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She's going to stop having sex with you and get mad. Baby, it's okay. Thank you, Kim. Kim said, lead me. Lead me. That's what's wrong now. Nobody wants to be led anymore. They want to be a boss chick. They want to be able to come and go as they please. And, well, if I can do bad by myself. And you will. If you're going to get in a relationship and have one that's working, you got to know your role. Support each other. love each other. But because at the moment you meant to have, at the moment, if you making $100,000 and he's making $50,000, that doesn't make you the head. It just makes you, it just says you have more money, but it doesn't make you the head. When you fall into the hierarchy of God and the way God orchestrated to be, blessings flow from that. Blessings flow when your man is covering you and the family. A true man will make sure that his family have, even if he goes without. He'll make sure the wife has and the children have, and he may not even have, but he makes sure they have. Because our job is to provide and protect. That's the man's role, to provide and to protect. Now, I tell women, if you want to live in a lavish house and drive the lavish cars and he's not making all that money, you're going to have to contribute. But contributing does not take away from who you're supposed to be in your role. That's the helpmeet. Somebody say that, type that on the screen, ladies. I'm supposed to be a helpmeet, not the leader. He's supposed to lead, and I'm supposed to help him. All right, I hope somebody's getting this. This is in relationship 101. The man is the leader, the wife is the helpmeet, and together they have a relationship. If you, lady, want to come into the relationship and lead him and tell him what to do because you've been a boss chick or you don't know how to submit, don't bother getting in a relationship. Don't even bother trying to even walk down the aisle and say, I do, because there's going to be some problems. I'm telling you right now. Somebody need to hear me. It's going to be some problems when you go down that aisle thinking that you run the show. He does what I tell him to do. Whatever I want him to do, he'll do it. Don't worry about it. I got him. You're going to find yourself by yourself. Loretta says, sometimes I feel when things are getting done, I feel this with my whole soul. You feel it. Help me means I'm going to fill in and help. Okay? Help. Not you do and then they chilling and then they got another chick on the side. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Relationship 101. Know your role. When you meet a man, ladies, let him lead. See if he's going to open the door for you. See if he's going to pay for the food. See if he's going to walk. See how he treats you, because it's not going to change because you make the sex legal and say, I do. He's not going to miraculously wake up one day and start doing things that he didn't used to do. It's either he has it or he doesn't. I'm going to do some more videos. The next one's on communication. Because if you don't know how to communicate, because you don't know your role, then you're wasting your time. Relationship 101. Know your role. Know your role. Know your role. Somebody type that on the screen. I must know my role in the relationship. Because if I don't, I'm going to be out of order, out of the will of God, and then I'm expecting God's blessing to flow. When you are leading, when you're the head, sometimes I'm going to say things that Rebecca's not going to like. And there's going to be some nights I'm going to look at her back. And there'll be some days she probably question, why did I marry this man? But when it's all said and done, she's going to say, but I love him because he's leading, he's guiding, he's covering me. He know how to keep demons away from me. He know how to cover our house. When something is happening in my house, I don't send her. I say, go right here. We have certain things we do. Because if something happened, let it happen to me. Don't let it happen to you. That's what a man does. The man will go out first before he lets his family go out. He doesn't send his wife to go get shot. No, he goes and handles his business. She just talked about this energy in the video the other day. How about that? When you know your role and you abide in your role, hold each one accountable to operate within their role. If I'm not operating as what I should, you better believe Rebecca's going to say something. And if Rebecca's not operating her role, you better believe I'm going to say something. Because for better, for worse, doesn't mean that you're always going to have the best. Sometimes it's going to be worse. Sometimes you're going to be mad at each other. Sometimes you're going to wonder, why in the ham sandwich did I even walk the aisle with you? Oh, yeah, now I remember, because I love you. And love will make you do things which you don't want to do. But because you have love and you know your role, you'll lead. In meeting a guy, should a man lead in prayer or a woman, or can both? Both can lead in prayer, but you got to talk about it, because he may not want to. He may be afraid to pray or may not know how to pray. Prayer is private, and you can join hands and say, "Can we pray together? Will you lead prayer for me?" He may say, "Well, I'm scared." So, leading in prayer is not. It can go both ways. It doesn't have to be just the man lead the prayer. So if you meet him, first of all, just get to know who he is. And from one way you'll know he prays is when you sit down to eat dinner. Does he automatically jump in his food, or does he say, "Let's pray"? Father, thank you for the food we're about to receive. Let it be nourishing to our bodies. Bless the hands that prepared it. In your son Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Wow, he blessed his food, so that's a check. You see what I'm saying, Isha? When you see little things. I've seen men who don't even pray over their food, less than pray over his family. At my house, even now, when we sit down and before we eat, they say, "Baby, bless the food." We don't touch food without blessing it. And I will lead the prayer. Let me share one more thing. Know your role. Some of you are going to go into a relationship. Now, this is going to hurt. Somebody going to get mad at me right now, but I don't care. Really don't. You know I don't. Most people now that are older have children, and they're going to go into the next relationship with their children. You got to get an understanding of something. Now, y'all ain't going to like this. But if you're going to be in a relationship with a man or a woman, your children do not take precedence over your relationship. They are part of the relationship. They don't take precedence over the relationship. Now, I know some of you got mad right then, because you can't put your kids before your husband or your wife. Hello? Oh, my kids were here before you got here, and they'll be here when you leave. You don't need to be in a relationship, because know your role. It's God, the husband, the wife, and then the children. Little Bobo ain't your man if you get married. Your husband is your man, and your child is your child. Some of you have made your children your husband. Oh my. Y'all need to get into this, make it last forever. You need to get into this course. Your children is not your man. Your boy, he may be the man of the house because there's no man in the house. But when the man comes into the house, he's going to teach the boy his place. Son, I'm the man of this house right now. Thank you for what you did for your mother, but now understand there is a man in the house. You're not the man of the house. There is a man in the house. My wife has 3 sons. 3 sons. But one thing I want them to understand from day one, I'm not your son, I'm not your brother, I'm not your friend, I'm a man. I'm coming in to love your mother and be the man of my home. You don't come to my house, you don't eat before me, you don't come to my house, you don't run things in my house. I don't know. That ain't how it works. And real men will put even the children in their place because it's their house. There is nothing. Oh, come on, somebody. Your child doesn't take precedence over your relationship if you're married. Now, if you're dating, of course, that's different. But I'm talking about this is premarital / relationship going into a marriage. And you got to be careful, because if you have children from a different relationship, those children are going to try to play the two of you against each other. And most time they're going to say little things on the slide like, "Mom, Mr. Kerry kind of hard. He said this and he said that." And when you know your role, what you do as the wife or as the mother, say, "Well, baby, this is his house. You're going to do it in his house. These are the rules. So, hey, get with the program." Because now the child realizes, I can't play these games with mama, or I can't play these games with dad, and I can't play the two against each other. Come on. That's right. A lot of people have this problem. That's why they won't get married. Candy, that is it. But listen, we can't talk about make it last forever and not deal with the issues that would destroy the forever. When the man marries, when I married Rebecca, her boys, and her dad came with the package. But they all understood that I am the man. I am the head of my home. I'm not walking around eggshells. I'm not going to sit here and wish I could say something to the boys, but I'm afraid they're going to get mad and not like me. I'm not here for you to like me. Men, you're not in children's lives for them to like you. You're in their lives to guide them. Some of y'all need to stop making your children your best friend and telling all your business to the child, and you wonder why they're looking sideways at the new husband or the new wife. If this is good, somebody type on the screen, this is good. Because when you know your role, you're going to keep children in children's place and out of grown folks' business. Come on now. I know somebody got mad and said, You want to have a success. Your child is going to grow up and go out and start their own life. And you're going to sit here and put a relationship before you, put a child before your relationship. And then when your child get grown and not having their own relationship, you're going to have a bunch of cats. Somebody better hear the man of God. You got to know your role and put your children in their proper role. Because guess what? If you're out of order and your children are watching, what you think they're going to do when they get in a relationship? The exact same thing they saw you do and get away with. You can tell when a man's in the house based on how the son treats the girlfriend. Come on. You can tell how a young man is, whether he has a father in that home based on how he treats the girlfriend. Because men will teach their sons how to love a young lady, not to beat on her, not to call her out of her name. And women would teach young ladies how to respect a young man and how to one day grow to be a respectable wife and a loving wife. Not how to get them straight and tell them off and, baby, you got the power, it's between your legs. No, you don't have the power between your legs. You have a problem between your legs when you act that way. Let me get out of here, guys. Y'all are tired of hearing me talk. So I want you to hear this. Know your role. Relationship 101, know your role. We have the Make It Last Forever course that's coming up Labor Day weekend. We're starting it right after Labor Day. You got right now through all that time to get in. Get in. Right now there's a 40% discount. On my page, you can see the link. But this is the kind of stuff we're going to talk about. And it gets more raw than that. I go deep and go raw. Because the problem is, we've danced around too much stuff. She said, I miss coffee with Carrie. You know, somebody was asking me to bring coffee and Carrie back. And, you know, I work so much, but I'm going to work on that, Loretta. I'm going to work on that because so many people have been asking about it. But when you know your role and you're operating within your role, I promise you things will go smoother. Not cross over into somebody else's role. Now, again, don't mix up role with what you can do well. Just because you may have great finances does not mean that you are the leader of your home. If the man is in the house and he's supposed to be the leader, lead. She won't let me lead. What do you mean she won't let you lead? Lead. Lead. My woman, my wife, she's a strong woman. Very, very strong woman. But you know, when it boils down to it, Rebecca knows her role. She knows what to do, what not to do. When something, I get phone calls, Carrie, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened. Go talk to Carrie, go talk to Carrie, go talk to Carrie. Because they know my role is I'm gonna handle it. And there's some things that's not my role, I don't fool with. When you know your role, you don't fool with some things. Some things you just let it be. But know your role. Men, know your role. Ladies, know your role. Put the children in their proper role, and I promise you, you'll have God, the man, the wife, the children. And then let me close it out with this. Y'all ready for this one? God, a husband, wife, children, then the church. Oh, let me talk to my religious people that love to go to church all the time. Church is not your first ministry. Your first ministry is your home. And if you're in church more than you're at the house, you're out of order. Know your role. The church has a place, and it doesn't come first. Okay? God, the husband, the wife, the children, then the church. And you can't go out here doing something for the church. You didn't take care of the first church, which is your home. Oh, this is some good stuff. I know this is old school. Baby, this is what works. And this new school stuff ain't getting it. You have no business being in church Tuesday, Friday, Sunday, all day, Sunday, all evening. You had no quality time with your wife, no quality time with your husband, no quality time with your children, but you love the Lord and you're going to heaven. Baby, you're about to go to hell in your house. You better know the role and know the order of God and how things flow. You will not go to hell if you don't make it to Tuesday night Bible study. I promise you that. But if you have not done the first works in your home with your ministry in your home, then you're out of order. God, husband, wife, children, church. Then you can mix in all the family and friends. Keep mama out your business. Keep daddy out your business. The Bible said, for this cause shall a man leave his father and his mother, meaning that you leave them and their opinions and what they have to say about your home. And you cleave to your wife. We're going to talk about the leave and the cleave. All of this is in Make It Last Forever. All right, guys. So listen, I got to go. Know your role. And I promise you, if you don't know it, join us in this course. You're going to get more of this. I'm going to talk about the things that destroy a relationship. Communication, sex, and people. Putting people in your business. So many things we're going to talk about. All right. So sign up today. The link is in, it's going to be in the video. When I finish, I'll put the link in this video. But on my page, there's a link to it. Make it last forever. I want to see you in the course. Share this video, guys. Leave a comment in the bottom. Let me know how you enjoyed it. Have a great day. Bye-bye.